Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bad Comic Review. Today I read Marvel 2-in-1 Issue 2. This is, of course, from the new series 2018, starring The Thing and Human Torch. This is part 2 of Fate of the Four. Now, we pick up a little bit after where we left off last issue, and again, we have more of a self-contained story that's part of a larger arc. And you know what? I really like this issue. It was actually pretty fun. Now, it's written by Chip Zdarsky, which, it's a shock to all of us that it was fun. And Jim Chung, penciler, with John Dell, Walden Wong, and Jim Chung on inks, Frank Martin colorist, VC's Joe Caramunga letterer, and the cover art by Jim Chung and Justin Ponzer. Now, I really like the cover picture, actually, because it's a throwback to Fantastic Four issue 1, and it's really well done. I really like the covers that I've seen on this. Now, the interior art I actually liked quite a bit. I'm normally not a fan of this style, but it's really growing on me, and it's really good through the whole issue. I was really surprised. And my favorite thing, they put asterisks telling you when things happened. I really miss that. They used to do it all the time during the Jim Shooter era, and then it kind of drifted away into the ether, but they're bringing it back, and I love that, so keep that up. They reference Fantastic Four number 277 when Alicia Masters was replaced by a Skrull, and that was a big storyline back in the day. They reference when they talking about Monster Island, they reference Fantastic Four issue 1, and that's where the guys are going. They go to Monster Island and wander into a heated political debate between some monsters who ended up on Monster Island and in Subterraria, where Mole Man usually runs. But they're having a discussion over who should run the island, and they're referencing Monsters Unleashed, which is really cool that they tell us that too. And of course they end up in a massive fight. But Johnny's flame fails him for some reason, which I think they're going to eventually reveal is actually that he's, it's a psychological thing and he's not actually losing his power. I think that's what it is. Anyway, Dr. Doom shows up and beats the crap out of pretty much everybody. Doom's looking for the multi-sect just like Johnny and the Thing, because he thinks it's more useful to him than it would be in their bungling hands. Now, I have to admit that the banter between everybody was really good in this issue. I think Zdarsky's good at banter, but not necessarily funny. Now, it's like having a conversation with your friends as opposed to doing stand-up. He's not funny at stand-up, but he's pretty good at banter according to this issue. We learned a little bit about Ben and Reed's first real adventure, which was more of a college prank sort of thing, and they do find the multi-sect. So it did exist, just not on Monster Island like they thought. So it's a nice self-contained story that's part of an arc. But it was a really good story. The dialogue was fun. It wasn't ham-fisted like normally from what I've seen from Zdarsky. So he's really stepped up his game, and I hope he sticks with it. I hope he stops trying to be cutesy funny and starts doing more like this, because this was a solid issue. I had a lot of fun with it. I highly recommend picking it up. First two issues have been great. I've got issue 3 here. I'm going to try and do that later this week, but great all-around book. I was really excited. It was a lot of fun. I really like the art. These are very, very good adventure stories, just like Marvel 2-in-1 used to be. It's pretty much all ages book. I didn't see anything in here that was offensive or overly violent. There was some combat, but nothing too bloody or anything like that. I didn't see any blood, actually. It was a good time. So I think this is a good book for pretty much anybody to read. There was a lot of dialogue, but it worked. It wasn't overly useless dialogue, so I'm gonna give this one a recommend. Be sure to check it out if you get the chance, and that'll do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and we hope to see you on the next episode.